My pregnant wife betrayed me and ran off with her lover. 2 years later, she came back in tears begging for forgiveness. I wasn't always a single father. Once upon a time, I was a devoted husband, a man madly in love with my wife, Anna. We had been together since high school, navigating the ups and downs of college, career searches, and the painful journey through 2 long years of fertility treatments. When we finally discovered that she was pregnant, it felt like the universe had opened its arms to us. Everything seemed perfect, until it slowly began to unravel around the 4th month of her pregnancy. Initially, I thought her behavior was just a result of hormonal changes. She became distant, irritable, and emotionally unavailable. Instead of falling asleep in my arms as she once did, she'd spend hours scrolling through her phone. She stopped saying, "I love you," and even her smile started to feel like an act. Then came the late-night walks she took alone without me. Despite all the signs, I tried to hold on. I wanted to believe we were just going through a rough patch. But then came the night everything fell apart. She had left her phone on the bathroom counter while she showered, and when it buzzed repeatedly, I glanced at it without thinking. A string of messages lit up the screen, from someone named Ben. One message hit me like a punch to the gut. "I miss your body." My heart sank. I waited for her to come out of the shower, calmly, too calmly. I looked her in the eyes and asked, "Who's Ben?" Without hesitation, she replied, "Someone who actually sees me." The room spun. "You're carrying our child," I said. "And I still feel invisible," she answered, like she had rehearsed it 100 times. "Ben listens. He makes me feel alive. You're just dependable. Just dependable." That's what my years of love, loyalty, and sacrifice had been reduced to. And yet, I stayed. I stayed because I didn't want our unborn daughter to be raised in a broken home. I hoped that once she became a mother, Anna would come to her senses. I believed that the reality of family life would bring her back. When our daughter, Leia, was born, I saw the universe in her eyes. I thought Anna would too. But instead of growing closer, she drifted further away. She'd pose with Leia for Instagram, pretending to be the perfect mom, only to hand her off moments later so she could clear her head. I silently stepped into the role of both parents. And honestly, I didn't mind because holding Leia gave me a sense of purpose I'd never known before. Then, just before Leia turned 2, Anna dropped a bombshell one morning over coffee. "I'm marrying Ben," she said, as casually as if she were asking for the salt. I sat there in shock. "You're joking," I said. "I'm not," she replied. "He proposed. We're moving to Chicago, but we can't take Leia. You can either accept some money and full custody, or we'll put her in state care until we figure it out." I was speechless. "You're talking about our daughter like she's a stray animal," I whispered. "Don't be dramatic," she snapped. "You'll be fine. You've always been fine." Something inside me shattered then. Not from sadness, from rage. Rage at the woman who once cried tears of joy over a positive pregnancy test. Rage at the cowardice, the selfishness. But I didn't lash out. I simply took Leia in my arms and said, "You're not getting a penny of custody. I'll fight you to the end." And I did. I spent the next year locked in a brutal legal battle. I brought evidence. Proof of her affair, of her abandonment, of the money she secretly took from our joint account to fund her new life with Ben. I hired a tough lawyer and documented everything. I never missed a hearing. Because unlike Anna, I understood what it meant to be a parent. In the end, I was granted full custody. Anna lost everything. But that was just the beginning of what karma had in store for her. After the judge slammed the gavel, Anna didn't even react. She just stood there next to her gel-haired, smirking fiancé like it was nothing more than a minor setback.
No tears. No remorse.
Just a quiet, "We'll be fine." But they weren't. Ben's wealth turned out to be smoke and mirrors, credit cards, investment scams, and fake glamour. Within months, their rented Chicago condo was gone. That's when Anna started messaging me. First indirectly, then more desperately. "Can I see Leia this weekend?" she asked.
No, Irraplia.
"You gave that up." But I'm still her mother. A mother who tried to leave her in state custody. She went silent after that. But karma wasn't finished. I didn't go public. I didn't post online rants or try to destroy her reputation. I let the truth speak for itself. Neighbors, friends, even her own family started to piece it together. I had receipts, screenshots, bank statements, testimonies. Word got around. Her own parents, once so proud of her, began visiting me with gifts for Leia. Her mother even broke down crying on my porch, saying she didn't recognize the daughter she raised. Then came the final blow. Ben was indicted for wire fraud and embezzlement. His office was raided, and Anna's name appeared on business documents as a silent partner. Whether she knew or not, it didn't matter legally. She was involved. She called me one night, crying. For the first time, she sounded like the old Anna. I didn't know he was a criminal, she's sobbing. My accounts are frozen. I have nothing. I'm scared. I paused. You should be. She whispered. I need help. I answered calmly. I offered you help 2 years ago. I begged you to fight for this family. Instead, you tried to give away our daughter like a piece of furniture. Silence. Then she murmured, I made a mistake. No, Anna, I replied. Forgetting to pay a bill is a mistake. What you did was a choice. I hung up. After that call, everything shifted. Anna moved back to town. Alone, broke, directionless. She took a job at a local diner, the same place she used to mock when we drove by. Now she waited tables there. I didn't rub it in. I didn't have to. She'd see me occasionally, at the grocery store, at the park, pushing Leia's stroller, singing songs, smiling. Sometimes she'd try to say hello. Sometimes she'd cry. But I never let her get too close. To Leia, I was her home. And Anna was just a stranger who gave up something real for a glittering illusion. But I still had one final card to play, not out of spite, but justice. During the custody battle, I discovered she had forged my signature on a $6,000 co-signed loan for Ben's fake startup. I waited until custody was settled to file the charges. Forgery, fraud, financial misconduct. She was served papers at the diner in front of customers. I didn't smile, but I didn't stop it either. Actions have consequences, and hers were long overdue. A friend told me she collapsed in the break room and had to be driven home. The entire town now knew, not just about the affair, but the crimes, the lies, the debt. She messaged me again. Please, I'll go to jail. I'll lose everything. I replied with one sentence. You already lost what mattered most. In the end, she was spared jail time, but faced heavy restitution and community service. Her reputation was destroyed. In a town where she once walked like royalty, she was now a ghost. Meanwhile, Leia flourished. She started preschool, became obsessed with dinosaurs, and filled our home with laughter. Sometimes she'd ask, Daddy, why don't I have a mommy like the other kids? I'd gently reply, some mommies forget how to be mommies. But you've got me, and I've got you. One day, a letter came in the mail. No return address, but I recognized the handwriting. Inside was a crumpled photo of Anna holding newborn Leia, with a message on the back. I made the worst choices of my life.
I misher lef. I misher smil.
But I know I don't deserve to anymore. I never responded, because some things break beyond repair. I'm not raising my daughter to think love is something you abandon. That sorry makes everything okay. That people are disposable. Karma did what I never needed to do. It spoke for me. Quietly. Completely. Anna still lives a few streets away. We rarely cross paths. She keeps her head down, while I keep mine high. Not because I won, but because I held on. Not to anger, not to revenge, but to my daughter. And that's always been enough.